Hi everyone, welcome to our next tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to make use of a few tools, and one of the tools is called the photo bin. We can import more than one photo if we wish, and we can merge them together to do different things like make a collage or do something like this. What we're going to do is let me go to the bottom left here. You're going to see that I've brought in two different photos, and you can see these two photos here. And if I click on this here, you can see that I have this logo and I've got this image here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually merge these two together. And I'm going to start with this image of Connor McDavid. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate the layer because I'm going to work with that layer. As always, we are going to duplicate. Then I'm going to stop the visibility of that layer. And I'm going to work on this background copy layer here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a tool called the lasso tool. And what it actually does is it's a very quick way to go around an object and to eliminate what we have in the background. Now, there's other ways to choose the selection of an object. We could use this tool over here, the quick selection tool. I'm going to be really careful with that though. We can end up with rough edges. The lasso tool is really good if you just want to do a quick edit around your subject and still get good results. So I do want you to use the lasso tool here. Please don't use the quick selection tool or any others. I want you to use the lasso tool. When you click on that, basically what you have is make sure that it's set down here at the bottom, and the tool looks like this here. And all you do is just take your mouse and click and drag all the way around your subject. Now try to get a nice edge around here. So all around like so. My mouse is sticking here, and you can actually go right off the page. I've got a little jag there, but I'm going to keep it like that. And I'm going to go all the way around the skates and back around, and I'm going to connect up with the original. So it looks like that there. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go down here at the bottom, and you're going to go to Refine Edge. And when you do that, you have a number of different options here. What you can do is output to different things, and very important to do the one that we want to do. You're going to output to a new layer. So make sure you output to new layer first. And what you're going to do is we need to get our subject inside our selection. And notice if we use some of these sliders like the Shift Edge tool, if I slide this all the way too far to the left, I ended up cutting out my subject. So you're going to have to use these tools here and slide them around till we get our subject just right. In other words, we won't have too much, as we did there. We don't have too little. So it'll take a little playing around to get this right. And like I said, we want to get the selection area that we had picked. We want to get the hockey stick. So you're going to have to move this just to try to get this just right. Now, we are also going to move some of these other ones here, like the smoothness and so on. And you're going to play with that to try to get this looking just right. So we might want to change the feather. So in other words, we're adjusting the edge here to get a nice edge. So play with these here. See if you can get one that makes it look like we've got our subject here, and that you get a bit of a smooth edge here as well. Now, when you feel like you have it right, you're going to click on OK. And if you notice here, what it did was it created a new layer, and it actually stopped the visibility of the layer we were working on. So it looks like this here. So how do you know when you have a transparent background in Photoshop? Well, when you see these squares in the back like this, that indicates to you that you have a transparent background. So in other words, I can go to the photo bin now and I can click on the logo. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this image of Connor McDavid right on top of the logo. To do that, I'm going to go down the photo bin. You can see the little hand there, and I'm going to click on it and hold it, and I'm going to drag on top of our image. So it looks like so. Then I'm going to go back over here, and I am going to use the move tool, and I am going to just move Connor around here to a point where we feel like he's in a good position here. Maybe when I want to see a bit of the orange oil drop in the back. So I'm just going to move this around like this here. All right. Now, we have that there. Now, we could make this a little better by maybe trying to fix some of the colors here in the back. Notice we've got this yellow here in the back. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use something called the layer and then the flatten image. What this is going to do is if I want to mix all my layers together and just work on one single layer, I can do that. But once I've done that, I've lost all my original layers. So be very careful when you do this. You might want to save it as a new file name so that if you want to go back to the original layers, you can do that. So I'm going to do a layer and I'm going to do a flatten image. Now notice here, now we just have one layer and it has put the two together. And again, I'm going to work with this one. I'm going to right click and I'm going to go duplicate layer. I'm going to click on OK. I'm going to close the visibility of that background layer. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and just try to fix up some of the things in this image. So I'm going to zoom in here and let's see if we can make this look a little bit better. So I'm going to use the color picker tool. I'm going to click on that and let's get this orange here. And notice it's orange over in the bottom. And I'm going to use my brush tool. And let me just check the size here. The size looks good. And my opacity, I'm going to set to 100 because I want it to look exactly like this orange here. And I'm going to brush in to get this oil drop here to make it look like so. And I'm going to make this look a little bit better than what we had here. And like so. And then what I'm going to do is as I get close, I'm just going to back off on the opacity here. And I'm just going to bring this in here gently. And I can zoom in and I can take a look at this as well. And try to make this look a little bit better. So if I zoom out now, if I go Control minus and like so, it looks a little bit better. I can keep working on that. And I could do the same thing over here. And I could try to make this orange continue to look a little bit better down here. Just make this look better. So if I want to zoom in, let's zoom in here and take a look. And I'm going to go up here and I'm going to zoom in a little bit more, Control plus. And like I said, we might want to bring this so we can get this in closer. Notice the opacity here. We just have a little less effect here. If I want, I can bring my opacity up a bit more. Since I'm zoomed in, I maybe want to bring that right back up here. And just be careful with this edge here. We can make this look much better. So we've done a number of things with this image here. We have used the lasso tool and we've used the photo bin and we've merged these two pictures together and then we went ahead and flattened the image. So we've done a number of different things here. I want you to do the same thing for your Wix website. Make sure you use the lasso tool, not the quick selection tool. And when you are done, just so you know how to use the text tool as well, I want you to select the orange inside here and then let's use the text tool and go up here and give this a title. So click on here and notice the text here is down at the bottom. Here's the font and here's the font size. You might have to change that to bigger or smaller. Let's just see how big it is when we start typing. So we have this here, and notice our font color is not quite the right font color. So we are going to make sure that we've got this selected. And now we've got the right font color. So now we can type this in. And we can put in his name. So make sure that you've done that. When you're done, you're going to click on OK. You're going to save this as a JPEG, and you're going to place it on your website. That's it for this tutorial. We'll talk to you soon.